Hello and welcome to Excel tutorial from IT Army. In the previous video we talked about the basic operators like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, but they are very limited in terms of functionality, so that's why we're going to use functions. So let's get started. In the previous video we saw that how can we perform addition. So suppose we have some numbers written over here, and if you want to perform addition we can say simply equals up arrow key plus, right? So we are referencing cell A1, A2 and A3, and I press enter key and boom, we get the result, right? Now instead of using this we can also use functions. Now how do we use function? Same way we use equals operator like we use with formulas. Functions also, they start with equal sign, but after equal sign, rather than putting operand name or referring to a cell, we put the function name. So we have a function for summation, so I type S, and you can see over here as soon as I type S, it starts showing me the list of all functions that I can use over here. So I say sum, and you can see over here. So now I can press tab key or I can put opening parenthesis, and now you can see it's showing you the syntax that what this requires. So functions actually they require some input, some parameters on which they will do some calculation and they're gonna return some value. So over here you can understand that it is showing number 1 comma and number 2 in square bracket. So it means that the second argument is optional, and after that you're gonna see 3 dots. That means that you can pass any number of arguments. So let's say we want to do the addition of cell A1. So whatever arguments you are passing, they can be constants, they can be cell references, or they can be some other values. They can be some other functions or expressions. I put comma and then I select this value, then again I put comma and then I select the third value, and I can put parentheses or I can simply press enter key and Excel will automatically put the closing parentheses for us. So I press enter key and we get the same result. Now you will say, Zishan, what is the difference between them? Same thing, if I have to write using plus operator, I have to individually point to each and every cell, and same thing I'm doing with this sum function also. So what is the benefit of using this function? And what if I have to do the addition of 100 or thousands of records? So definitely yes, there is the benefit. Let me show you. So let's do it again. Equals, type sum, right? And now this, up till now we were referencing an individual cell, but we can also give a range. And if you remember in the beginning of the tutorial I talked about range. Range is a collection of cells. Now all those cells could be in the same row, they could be in the same row, they could be in the same column, or it could be collection of rows and columns. So in this case what I can do is I can create a range. So to create a range I can click on the first cell and drag over to the last cell, right? So you can see it has created the range, and range is basically the first cell, that is A1, separated by colon, and then the last cell, that is A3, right? You can also do it with the keyboard. Let me delete it. I can use I just press escape key, equals sum, and then I press tab key or I put opening parenthesis, so I'll press tab key this time, and now I can use the up arrow key to go to the first cell. I press the shift key, control key and down arrow key, so this way I will jump to the last cell in that range, and now you can see it has created the range for me, right? Now what can I do is I can simply press enter key and I get the same result. So in this case you see the benefit over here of a range is that I just don't need to point to each and every cell. I can just say the starting cell and the ending cell, and all the numbers in between would get added, right? Now see one more thing. If I add one more item over here, suppose I put over here 30, and just notice over here what changes will happen in these three when I press enter key. Right now you see these three are static, but over here we are getting a warning. We are getting a green warning over here, and when I bring the mouse over it, and it is saying that update the formula to include the cell. So it's giving you suggestion that you have added one more item. Do you want to update your formula to include this new number over here or not? And I say yes, update the formula, and it gets updated. But this thing will not happen with these two formulas where you are individually referencing each and every cell. Okay, so this is how we can reference. Now one more shortcut I'm going to show you for performing summation. I'll just delete these three. Now the shortcut for this is I can perform the auto summation. From here you're gonna see over here from home we have editing group, and inside the editing we have AutoSum, and I simply click on it and it will perform the summation. You can also see in the tooltip it is showing you that the keyboard shortcut for this is Alt key along with equal sign. It will give you the same result. So let's press over here and you see it has automatically discovered that we want to perform the summation of all the cells above this particular cell, and I'm fine with that. I'll simply press enter key and we get the same result. We can also perform the operations from formula tab. When you come to formula tab, you're gonna see we have complete group of functions available. We have a group called as function library. We have AutoSum. When I click AutoSum over here, the same thing would happen. And when I click this down arrow, and we have a lot of other aggregation functions like finding average, counting numbers, minimum and maximum available. And we have a lot of other functions available. Recently used, whatever functions you have recently used, whatever commonly used functions are there, they are available. Then we have financial functions available. You can see so many functions are available for finance. We have logical functions available, text related functions, finding the length of a string or extracting some part from the string, some characters, date and time, finding today's date and time and doing some date related calculations. We have lookup functions available. We have mathematical and trigonometric functions available, and we can see a lot of more statistical engineering functions are available. So in this tutorial I'm not going to talk about all of these functions. We're just talking about the basic functions, but later on we are going to talk about all of those more advanced functions. One thing more I want to say over here is that we also can use the insert function dialog box. So to insert a function, rather than doing this way, what we can do is we can use the insert function over here. We can also use insert function from here. So if I say insert function, it gives you insert function dialog box. If I click on over here, then also we get the insert function dialog box. So here you can search for anything that you're looking for. Suppose you say I want to perform the summation, and click on go, and you're gonna get the list over here. So you can see the very first function that you are getting inside this list you are interested in, and it's giving you the syntax over here, how to use that function and how many arguments are required, and we have the little bit description about this. And if you don't get the information that what is the use of that function, you can always click on this link for documentation. It's going to give you a lot of examples over there. So if I click on this, it's going to take you online. Okay, so from here you can see that it's showing you how to use the sum function. So sum function is under the mathematical and trigonometrical function. It adds the values. So you can see that you can pass on sum, a single range, or you can pass a comma separated range. So you can see we have one range from A2 to A10, comma, and then we have the second range. So you can see that you can have any number of parameters passed over here. We also have a nice video over here. You can play this video to get better idea about what is the use of sum. We have syntax given over here. Syntax says you can pass number 1, comma, number 2, it's in square bracket, that means it's optional, comma, 3 dots means that you can pass on any number of arguments. So you can say that you can pass on up to 255 arguments. Right, we have a lot of practice available over here. You can see the different scenarios, common problems that you might face during using this function, and some frequently asked questions. Okay, so I'll close it, and let's see how to use the sum function. So I can click on OK, and once you click OK, it automatically gives you this function dialog box, the function argument dialog box. You can type in the value. Suppose you want to type in, suppose 10, I press tab. So you can directly type in the constants. You can see the values are getting increased, right? Or you can reference to a cell from where you want to perform the input operation. So let me delete all these. Okay, so rather than having these constants, I want to just refer to these cells from A1 to A4, and from here only you can see it's showing you what values are there inside that range and what result you will be getting. and here also showing you the formula result. You can simply click on OK and you get the result. So there are a lot of different ways to use formula. As a beginner, I guess that insert function dialog box is the easiest thing rather than typing it by hand, and once you keep on working them, you will become efficient and then you will be able to write more complex functions. So hope you like this video. If you have any questions or comments, please post in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.